Greetings, everybody. It is I, Tim, from Tirfon Orbital. This is what you came for. This is the Starfall Speeder, the original Starfall Speeder. We're talking pre-POC Starfall Speeder. With my usual videos, listen, we're just going to go through the whole build. We're going to talk about the hilt. We're going to talk about the chassis, and we will just do a quick demo, right? So stay tuned. We're going to get into it coming up right now. And it's right now. So, as I mentioned, this is the Starfall Speeder. This was a custom that Starfall did a number of years back. The client sent this to me for an install. As you can see, it looks very reminiscent of the Starfall that POC offers now. The Starfall Speeder that POC offers. I mean, we've got the typical control box up top here. This emitter kind of looks like the one that POC offers. The pommel looks reminiscent of it, but I'm assuming that POC wanted to make a hilt that was easily manufacturable, and they could get out to a lot of clients or a lot of customers. However, this is an original build from Starfall. This is not like mass produced or anything like that. This is a full custom from Starfall that the client has had in his possession for a little while and has been waiting for some guts for it. So we went ahead with a Proffie install, right? So as with all of Starfall's stuff, I love the quality. I love the design. You can really tell though by like looking at this build and looking at Starfall's recent stuff. You can see the progression of quality and of what he does now. Like, I mean, he does a lot of brass on aluminum now, and this looks to be like, it looks like this might be an old Maglite handle that's been converted into a grip, which is super typical of a scrap or a lot of the older custom hilts, which I love. I mean, I love the look of this. I love the brass on aluminum. It's almost like this top part here is almost like a blue gunmetal. I mean, it's just a great looking hilt. I love it. So let's talk about the chassis real quick, and then we will go through how to use the hilt, right? So here is the chassis. Chassis is a full removable, full custom chassis build. Up top here is where we've got our PCB, 6-rail PCB connector. This connects to the top part of the hilt. I did put some channels for obnoxious Neopixel strips. Neopixel strips are completely unnecessary, especially for a chassis that you will never see unless you're taking it out of the hilt. However, everybody, including myself, loves a little bit of Neopixel action. So I talked to the client, and the client said, hey, why don't we just put some Neos on the speeder? And we went with that. So just some minimal greebly work on the chassis body itself. I put my logo down here. Proffie sits here in this tray. We've got room for a 24mm speaker from the Saber Merchant and a kill switch. Really straightforward build, really straightforward chassis. I was happy with the final product, and it fits. So that's important. You want that for a chassis. You don't want to, one of the worst things that can happen and has happened to me numerous times is, you design something in Fusion, you print it, you go to put it or, prototype it into the chassis, and it just doesn't fit. There's like a millimeter off, or even worse, typical for me is, I'll go ahead and wire up the chassis and then go to put it in and notice that I've missed something, or there's a millimeter off or something like that. So anyway, let's talk about the hilt really quick. So again, this is a Starfall Speeder. Pommel unscrews, and here's the chassis. So I printed the chassis in a translucent blue to attempt to go in line with this blue gunmetal that's up top here. And you know, again, very straightforward Proffie build. The spring side is the negative, so twist to activate, twist to deactivate is all on, so you pop your battery in. Kill switch is around the back here. Proffie sits in this tray. You can easily get at your board if you need to. To get at the SD card, you may have to remove. The Proffie does flip up. It kind of press fits into this channel here. If you do need to get at your SD card, you might need to take the battery out, flip the board up, take the SD out, and easily accessible USB port there. So let's make sure it's on before we put it in there. To put your chassis in, you just slide it in. The pommel secures the chassis to the rest of the hilt. So up top here we have two switches. Both are custom brass momentary switches from Kalyminian Customs. The switch that is in this control box acts as the main, and the switch around the side here is the aux. So to activate, aux is around the side. And that's it. Really quick, straightforward build. So what I ended up doing is I put like 3 or 4 Karanhorn Speeder fonts on this. There's a couple of other out of universe fonts on here. You know, this being a Speeder, a Karanhorn Hilt, you obviously want some Speeder Bike Hilts or Speeder Bike fonts on it. So let's pop a blade in it. Handy enough, there's a knurled thumb screw here that holds the blade in. This is the blade plug that the client sent with, so I'll be sending that back. So this takes a 7/8 inch blade. I have not used 7/8 inch blades at all, really. You know, I've done a couple of commissions with 7/8 inch blade holders. A New Hope Graflex, that's a 7/8 inch blade holder, but you know, industry standard is always 1-inch blades. So I just have not had the need to use them or, you know, do a lot of builds with them. Doing this hilt and my personal Adam Sabers build, which also takes a 7/8 inch blade, I think I'm a 7/8 inch blade convert. Let's say it 5 times fast. 7/8 inch blade. So yeah, so I went ahead and I have got a demo blade, 7/8 inch blade from Bendu Armory. Man, I can't talk today. So I have a 7/8 inch demo blade from Bendu that I just have been using for demo videos. So, but since my Adam Sabers is a 7/8 inch, I went ahead and picked one up, and I got one of the KR Pixel Strips blades from Saber Bay. I love 7/8 inch blades now. So I've been trying to put a finger on why I like them so much. I think the feel, the weight, I just really like the look of a thinner blade. I think they look fantastic. So anyway, so pop your blade in, make sure it's connecting to that PCB, tighten your thumb screw, and away we go, right? So yeah, I don't know, it's just like 7/8, it feels great. This blade looks great. So we've got, as I said, we've got a bunch of Speeder fonts on here. That's a Gundam Wing font, out of universe font. I don't know, I really like that font.
Just a simple one.
24mm speaker in this guy.
Meet Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And that theme is ready for launch.
So that's a font from Harry Solo that he did as a commission for me. It's a NASA themed font with my custom blade in it. So I think that's it. So anyway, so that's the Starfall Speeder, the OG Starfall Speeder. I have always been a fan of Koran horn themed speeder bike hilts, and this is just doesn't disappoint. Again, the grip feels great. The brass on aluminum accents never looks bad to me. So yeah, pleasure build. I really thank the customer. I appreciate your business, and I appreciate you trusting me with the build. And for anyone watching, if you have any comments or questions, I'm pretty active on the Lightsaber Discord, or you can just email me or reach out to me here. Okay, I appreciate you watching. Everybody have a great weekend, and may the Force be with you always.